What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, back with another action figure review. This time, I'll be looking at the DC Direct Blackest Night Series 1 figure of the Red Lantern Corps leader himself, Atrocitus. Let's have a look at the packaging. On the front, it says Red Lantern Atrocitus, and there is the personal power battery. The peg base is behind the figure. This is clamshell packaging, which allows for a complete view of the figure. This is a collector-centric figure intended for ages 14 and older. The back of the packaging features product shots of the other figures that are available in the DC Direct Blackest Night Series 1 wave. Each figure has a corresponding character description. The description for Atrocitus says, Red Lantern Atrocitus, gathering beings that possess great anger and hate from across the universe. The Red Lantern Corps is dedicated to destroying Sinestro and the Green Lantern Corps. Atrocitus, who is responsible for the death of Abin Sur, was the first to forge a Red Lantern power battery and power ring, utilizing the powers of blood and rage. And now let's bust open this package and see what's inside. Now let's have a look at accessories, and here we have the Red Lantern Corps symbol peg base. I'm a huge fan of this style of peg base. I wish McFarlane did something closer to this for the DC Multiverse line. And here we have the personal power battery. And as you can see, this is accurate to the specific core. And it's kind of hard to see the translucent plastic in the middle, but I appreciate that, as well as this glossy finish on this accessory. I'm a fan of both of these pieces. And here we see Atrocitus, free of the package and ready to rage as only he can. There is a great deal to like about this figure in terms of appearance details. However, the articulation is severely limited, even more so than other figures in this line. So let's have a closer look at the loose details now. Let's have a look at the lower body, and these boots are extremely well produced. You can see all of the detail here sculpted in to the calf muscles and wrinkles sculpted in. I really like this glossy red paint. I wish the black sections of the uniform were a little glossier, but I can't complain about the sculpting. And the musculature is very fitting for Atrocitus. You can see just how massive he is. And the figure is definitely sturdy. Here's a closer look at the torso, and there's magnificent sculpting on this. You can see that right here on the obliques. The paint applications are very exact. The Red Lantern Corps symbol is sculpted. It sits atop the pectorals, and I really appreciate that. There are numerous lines sculpted into the latissimus dorsi, and I think that's done to represent Atrocitus letting out a roar. Even if you're unfamiliar with this character, you can look at this figure and know that he's angry and intimidating. Now let's have a look at the arms, and they are a mixed bag. There is magnificent sculpting in the biceps and triceps. I certainly don't have issue with the musculature. And although the forearm gauntlets are sculpted well, the hands barely move within them. The wrist articulation is severely limited, as you can see demonstrated here. So unfortunately, that severely limits posing options with the arms. Here's a look at the ring hand, and although I appreciate the detail on the skin, it's pocked and there's been a dark wash applied to it. The ring is not well differentiated from the skin. If you didn't already know that it was there, you might miss it, so I wish that DC Direct would have made it more of a focal point. Here's a close-up of the head sculpt, and it's very attention-grabbing. These yellow eyes and these sharp teeth are very intimidating. I really appreciate the sculpting on the shoulder armor. However, it is a separate piece and it is possible to break it. I have heard other collectors complaining that they got too overzealous with the arms and broke that piece off, so be careful there. And it also limits the articulation of the head, as you would expect. However, I appreciate the comic accuracy from DC Direct. As I said earlier, this figure's articulation is extremely limited. There are single pin knees, and they only go up that far. The figure can step back, and you can get him into a running pose. He can kick forward about that far. There's no articulation in the torso, and with the way the hands have been done, they just barely move at the wrists. The elbows can bend to about that angle, and then they stop. There is no bicep swiveling. It is possible to move the arms backward and forward at the shoulder joints. Unfortunately, you cannot do a 360. However, you can raise the arms up from the sides this much. And unfortunately, the movement of the head is minimal due to the shoulder armor. So I certainly think DC Direct could have done a better job here. For a size comparison, here is the figure next to the McFarlane Atrocitus Build-A-Figure from the Blackest Night wave. And I think it's obvious that the McFarlane figure is superior, especially when it comes to articulation. If you're wondering about the DC Direct figure's height, it comes in at about 7.5 inches, so that's definitely taller than most of the other figures in this line. If you're looking to add this figure to your collection, you can still find one mint in package for about $50. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and please tell all of your friends about this channel. I would certainly appreciate it. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.